Well, eBay looks like it has reared its ugly head yet again, and a lot of people and myself have reported this particular problem, and it's not a new one, but yet it's worth looking into. So let's talk about that here on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And in this video, I want to talk to you about an experience that I dealt with myself, and after talking about it, other sellers have recently reported over the last few days this very problem. Now, it's not a new one. It's something that has happened to many sellers, even myself, over time. But if not caught, eBay will never accept responsibility, and it is the seller that will be left on the hook with a defect. And what is this? Well, this is the old, I sold this item and somehow it got listed again and it sold again. So with that in mind, what happened to me yesterday, I had made a sale for an item I had two of, and I hadn't listed the second one yet because while they were the same item, one had issues, the other one was perfectly fine. And so I sold the first one that was perfectly fine. So I said to myself, well, I guess I'll list the other one now and just make the adjustments in the listing, and that way I can state any like missing items that were a part of the set. So went in, made the listing, took new photos, and I went to go launch it with the same title as the first one, and eBay came back and said I had a duplicate listing. So in my mind, the math didn't add up. Sold one, and I have two to start with. Sold one, have another one waiting. Why is there one still listed? So I went and checked, and yep, eBay had, after I sold the first one, relisted the other one. So I went and of course canceled that and launched the correct one. But then I started to check, and this happened on like two or three more listings. So of course I canceled those and checked my entire store, and I was okay. Now, this has happened to other people. I believe Jovial Juggler sent a little message on Josh's chat stating that she encountered that issue as well. And some other people said over the last week they've had that problem. And I checked my other account where I did have a few sales over the last few days, and nothing like that at all. Now, what could have happened, and what I checked is on my main account, it looks like eBay automatically changed over the out of stock option on my store without my knowledge. And of course, when I went back to look, I did have some out of stock items that has sold like within the last week. So this actually had to have happened here over the last few days, where eBay went in, maybe they're goofing around in the background, but they're changing it so that the out of stock option was selected. Now, how did I have items that weren't out of stock involved in this? I have no idea because it didn't make sense to me. But the other ones, I think I found 7 that were out of stock, and it was raising my listing counts. I was wondering why, even though making sales, that my listings, my number of items in my store had gone up with my recent listings. Usually what happens is my sales and my listings sort of even each other out, and I hover somewhere around 185, 190. That's kind of what I've been lately, but now I'm over 200, and that kind of explains it. So the moral of the story here, guys, is that there's problems that are continuing to happen on eBay. I don't know if this has anything to do with the lack of sales, and I'll get onto that idea here in a minute. But what it is doing is it is causing potential problems that will lead to account defects. And if you get into a situation where you end up selling an item that you've already sold, whether it's eBay's fault or yours, well, eBay is not going to accept responsibility for this, and they're going to blame you, the seller. And their mindset is, even if they goofed up and relisted your item, it's your responsibility to make sure you're checking your listings. That's kind of the mindset, guys. So I think it's BS. I think a lot of people out there think it is BS. But at the end of the day, it is your business. And even though we can't even know where all the glitches begin and end, and we have no control over when a glitch starts and when a glitch ends and how it affects our accounts, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Well, their mindset is, well, kind of tough. And if you get a defect, enough of them, now one's not going to kill you. If you get an item that sells and you don't have it in stock, you just choose the out of stock option, email your buyer, apologize, make it right, maybe offer them a discount on something else, and you're going to get hit with a defect, and enough of those defects will hurt your account health and will also potentially hurt your rating. So if you're top rated plus, you're going to be above standard. It just really depends on how many you get. But enough of these defects, and eBay won't hesitate at all to knock you down a notch, and that will certainly hurt any chance you have of improving your current sales. If you're having bad sales, if you're having great sales, it might put a small dent into the number of sales you're getting, or you might not see the same kind of success that you're used to seeing. So I say this not because I want to alarm anyone. I want you to go in and check your business policies and just make sure that you do not have the out of stock option selected, unless you want to use the out of stock option. And I think it is a good tool to have if you continually get the same item in stock and maybe you run out, and it's just a matter of time before you get more. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was the eBay offsite ads beta that eBay is offering many sellers. Not sure if they're offering all sellers, but they're offering, at least they offered me, a $100 credit to utilize their offsite ads beta. Essentially, it's where you select so many dollars per day that will be dedicated to offsite ads for your listings. So I decided to go ahead and try it. I'm doing the $5 a day. I selected 20 days, so I will have my campaign ending on the 20th of this month. And essentially, they are going to put, in my case, $5 towards this offsite ad showing my listings. Now, just over the last 4 days, checking what this has done for me, I have 28 clicks. That's it, 28 clicks. No sales. And in fact, my sales have gone down since putting this into play. It just doesn't make sense. It's just mind-boggling. So is this pretty much wiping out my Google Ads exposure that I was already getting with my high promoted rates? What's happening with all that additional money that I'm giving eBay that was going towards the Google Ads, the ad placements? What's happening? And it just feels like, in addition to those higher rates, I'm paying $5 a day. Now, this is on eBay's dime, not my money. Maybe they're penalizing me because I'm only using the $5 a day, the $100 they're offering me, maybe because I didn't go out of pocket at all on this, because I want to see what would happen. And you would think, though, that they would really give you a boost in sales for giving them extra money, theoretically. I mean, in theory, it's me giving them extra money, even though they're giving me a credit. You would think that that is the experience they'd want to give me by giving me more sales, so that in January, I'd want to continue with the program. I'm losing sales, at least the last, we're now on the 5th when I'm making this video. Haven't made a sale. I don't know. I want to know how you guys are doing with that ads, the offsite ads beta, that credit that they've given you to try it out to the end of December. Maybe it's well meant, but it's just like the eBay international shipping program, where it seems to be great on paper, but it's poorly implemented. And I really think, like many things that eBay puts into play, it's not working for me, at least. And I haven't heard anyone give raving reviews over the last 2 weeks of this beta, whenever they started it. I know I was kind of late to the game. How have you done? Have you tried it? Put your comments down below. I want to know how you're doing on that. But you know what? It may be another glitch. It may be a problem with them implementing it. Maybe they'll iron it out after the beta. Who knows? Maybe it's working as designed. That's like you get a lot of programmers that'll say it's working as designed. And maybe it's just not working for me. But trying to figure out what things to incorporate in my business and if glitches are affecting other aspects of my business. It's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And a little birdie told me that the eBay Power Hour podcast that's scheduled to launch at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, it may not be a recording. So why don't you go over there and check it out? Hopefully you can make it on time if you're one of the first ones to watch this video. And until next time, have a great rest of your day. Take care, everyone.